Well, once we do the plastic on this, the paint's really going to look like shit. My name is Chris West with Solution Finish. Solution Finish was designed to restore rubber, vinyl, and plastic on the vehicle. It's primarily exterior. I don't like it on tires. It works great on tires, but there's better stuff out there. Solution Finish comes in only two sizes. It comes in the 12-ounce Pro size, which will, by the way, do 30 to 36 cars. Yeah. And then the 2-ounce individual size. The thing about Solution Finish is, one, a little bit goes a long, long way.
Yeah.
And two, it lasts 8 to 12 months. Through the years, I developed the over-the-top plastic sealer. Now, it's not a ceramic coating.
Right, because everybody kept trying to put ceramic over it.
Yeah, but once it oxidizes,
right,
you have forever locked out Solution Finish's ability to absorb into the microscopic pores of the plastic, right, which defeats the whole purpose. Right. So you try to put it on Solution Finish later and it smears, it's blotchy. So I came up with something that gives the plastic a little sheen to it, because Solution Finish is primarily a matte black finish. But with the antioxidants and light stabilizers that are in it, it's like sunscreen for your plastic. Right. So you can restore the color that lasts a long time. You keep on putting on the over-the-top plastic sealer, and you're extending not only the durability and longevity of Solution Finish, but for your plastic overall.
I've been using Solution Finish ever since it came out, but I think I'm the most excited today for Detail Factory and how they've helped us figure out a different way to apply it. I love having the right tool for the right job. So Solution Finish, we know that's the right product. Now we just need to pair it with the right tool.
And it comes in 3 different colors, 3 different sizes. Of course, the preferred is black, black tip, black handle. I'm going to start making this as part of my detailing complete kit. You know, I have the little real cheap foam brushes, a little stick handle, but this just makes it quality, reusable.
So let's talk about this car real quick, and then we're going to show you guys the demo. We're going to show how the product works and how we utilize these brushes.
The worse the plastic is, the better Solution Finish is going to work. Not only in appearance, but in longevity, because it's been able to get down deep and bond into it.
This is the best candidate for this.
Well, once we do the plastic on this, the paint's really going to look like That's an industry term.
First, we want to shake this, right?
Solution Finish has 3 instructions. Vigorously shake the bottle, apply a small amount on a microfiber applicator.
Let it start soaking in.
And wipe it off with a microfiber towel. There's 3 things. A lot of people miss one of the 3. How? I don't understand. They'll say, I put it on, it looks great, and it's still a little tacky after 3 days. I said, okay, you vigorously shook the bottle, you applied with a microfiber, and you buffed off all of the excess surface oil, right? Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to.
Yeah.
I go, okay, well, that's one of the 3 complicated instructions. So
first, let's use the applicator, and then we'll get into the brushes and why the brushes are going to help us in kind of those tall, small, tighter spots.
We can do
so
that.
We're going to do over here. So also, I feel like this is important. I don't know if you do. I feel like it's important that even though this car's washed, you do want to use some type of surface prep on the plastic, right, to remove the oils and things.
Best practice, because what you're doing, and you know, I love P&S surface prep, you know, but I'm cheap and I just use gallons of, you know, rubbing alcohol. But the idea is you're not really cleaning the plastic. What you're trying to do is break down any previously applied silicone-based dressings and give it a little bath. Give it, you know, flush out the pores the best you can.
Right,
you know,
and you kind of want to dry it off a little bit.
It's very simple, not a lot of scrubbing, just give it a bath. And so we'll start right here. And just so you know, this right here was from somebody else's trim product, and you can pretty much get this kind of results if you use somebody else's product. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. Yeah. Okay. So the instructions: small. We vigorously shook it. Yep. You did. It was vigorous, right?
Very.
Okay. Yep. Small amount. See right there? Okay. Now, You apply it. Now, if solution finish gets on the paint, it's best to wipe it right off. But if it dries, come back with, again, some rubbing alcohol and take it off. The only time it's going to be a problem is when you got a car that's been oxidized, no wax, no clear coat. It's just, you know, it's going to absorb into it, you know. So apply solution finish here. Now, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, by the camera, but it looks a little different than it did previously. If you squint, can you see it?
Yep, I see it. I see it. It's kind of black versus gray.
Step 3, wipe off the surface oil, because we want it to be a dry matte finish. We don't want it, it's not going to give you the wet look shine, but we want it to be able to look natural. You know, when you see these cars with, you know, it's wet and greasy, and I mean, it's not very natural, you know, and then they put all that on their tires. I mean, we know what tires look like. It doesn't have to look like it just went through a puddle.
So how soon do you recommend that people wipe it off after they've applied it? Like, can they do the whole half of the car and then go back and wipe?
Look, hold it in one hand.
Okay.
Go around the whole vehicle, do your application, put the cap back on, because even though I put in an orifice reducer, and the reason I did that is not to put in a small amount, is because too many detailers have knocked it off and go down somebody's driveway. So do the whole vehicle, put the cap back on, then take your applicator, your towel, buff it off. That way you're seeing all the little areas that you might have missed on the paint.
If you are nervous about getting it near the paint.
Like this.
Yeah, so normally with the applicator, I just go right up on the paint, and like Chris said, I wipe it right off.
See, I'm not taking any off because I didn't get it on the paint, but there.
But I like that now we can take this tool to kind of do that. If you are worried about getting it near the paint, you can use that.
Small amount. If I was doing it, I'd go right over the top of this. I'd turn my sponge over and dip it.
Okay. Which is really nice on these, right? Because that, I know that's the hardest part for me on the cowlings, is getting right up in these edges. Yeah, that's so nice. Makes you feel like an artist.
And with solution finish, more is not better. You know, if you do your whole vehicle, put the cap back on, take your towel, and it is totally black, then you're losing everything that's on the towel is how much you're losing. So when you apply it, put on a small amount, apply it to the part, keep on going until nothing else is going on the part. Then redip it, you know, and that way you're not only saving solution finish, but you're not just wasting time and effort that you don't need to. See?
Yeah, this is nice because you can kind of get it down into the inside of those holes.
Yeah, and it's soft enough to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's super handy.
With solution finish and its UV protection, you keep on applying it at the right intervals, and your plastic's never going to look worse than it did when you started applying it. With dressings, with silicone-based dressings, you could take a new car, put on their dressing once a week for 5 years. Then you stop. It will oxidize and look like it hasn't been touched for 5 years because the silicone is only masking it. With solution finish, it's like sunscreen for your plastic. So it's protecting the plastic like sunscreen would protect your skin.
So let's show them the big brush, how you could use this on the side as well to apply it to larger surfaces. So that's what I love about these, is they come in 3 different sizes. So you're more like painting it, right?
Yeah.
You know where I can see these being so handy is like, you know, the rear on like F-150s, the truck bed cap, the top.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they're hard to get into, and they're always faded as well. So I can see where these brushes are going to be really handy for something like that.
See, and what I find a lot of the detailers do, you know, they're not worried about saving a little bit of product. So they load up their microfiber, they splash it on, they get everything, then they wipe it all off. You know, they're not going to spend so much time like this, but these are perfect for the small areas, and it's super good for all the vents and
I love how you can trim out with just the edge of that.
front grills.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, for those that may ask, and I don't want to steal anybody's question, you do have another color, right?
I came up with Fusion Gray. It's solution finish, but it's for your gray oxidized.
The truly gray.
Yeah, it's truly gray.
Not gray because it became gray, truly gray. That is all the great stuff from Solution Finish. Dane, do you have any questions?
Yes, we do actually have some questions, which I'm going to now direct to you, the audience. Have you hit like yet? Have you subscribed to the Rag Company channel? And have you seen our awesome playlist with the rest of all these TRCMA segments uncut and ready for you? If you haven't, then you should probably go check them out right now. Until next time, you have a good one.